going to be enjoying a wonderful day of dry, warm weather in most of the eastern half of the country. Good morning and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Will Annan, and this Weather Center, by the way, is sponsored by Campbell's.
And I'm Rick Griffin. The trouble spot, the Great Lakes area, where you'll see rain, gusty winds, and thunderstorms, and some of the weather, some of the thunderstorm activity has already been severe and even tornadic. This morning, Mattoon, Illinois hit pretty hard. We'll have the details as the morning unfolds. Let's go to the weather map. Well, a cold front right in the Mattoon, Illinois area. That has spawned a tornadic thunderstorm, and apparently there's been extensive damage in the Lakeland Boulevard, Marshall Avenue area in Mattoon. Now, we're just starting to get some details concerning that tornado, and we'll pass along any information that we get to you. Right now, things are rather sketchy because they're just getting out to survey the damage. At any rate, we've got a fairly potent cold front moving through this region, and radar confirms we've got heavy storms not only in east central Illinois, but western Indiana and southwestern sections of lower Michigan. And it's pouring in Chicago this morning. It's a very wet but mild Saturday morning. Well, here's the tornadic storm. Watch this cell right here. That's it, that bright red thunderstorm cell. That was the thunderstorm that produced the tornado at about 5:49 this morning in Mattoon. Now, it is continuing to move northeast. It appears still to be severe in nature. You folks in Danville, Illinois, eyes to the sky, keep it tuned here, because some rapidly changing and possibly very volatile weather moving probably just to the south of Danville during the next hour. Again, this is the storm that has a history of producing tornadoes. Earlier this morning in Mattoon. Terre Haute, Indiana, you could be under the gun. South Bend and Gary, heavy rains right now. Chicago, it's raining. Kalamazoo, Benton Harbor. Detroit, light rain moving in, but some heavier downpours will be working your way as the morning unfolds, including Pontiac, Battle Creek, and Ypsilanti. Upper level low, you can see it right here. The cloud tops getting brighter white, indicating they're getting higher into the atmosphere, and it's this cell that fired up and produced the tornado in Mattoon. Back to the northeast, a lot of high clouds for you now. Niagara Frontier, down to the Susquehanna, Lehigh Valley region, the mid-Atlantic, D.C. and Baltimore, high cloudiness, nothing that's going to produce any precipitation. However, in northern Maine, we've got some rain from Moosehead Lake, Greenville, and Rockwood, across Mount Katahdin to Eastport, Caribou, Holton, and Fort Kent, also reporting a little bit of light precipitation. But the radar screen's all clear for those of you in Boston and New York City. The headline today for you is another very warm March day. Details in just a minute. Will?
You will continue to bask under unseasonably warm temperatures today across much of the east. Some locations will see some record highs as well. Let's show you what's going on, because as you can clearly see, we're looking at all of the cold weather still locked up there in central and northern Canada. It's the southeastern corner of the country that's extremely mild this morning, with 60s getting all the way up towards Philadelphia, also right around New York City and Columbus, Ohio. And we can show you what happened during the last 24 hours. It's warm this morning. It was a very warm afternoon yesterday. Take a look at the upper Midwest and the northeastern quarter, where temperatures are running between 25 and about 30 degrees above average for this time of the year. All of the dots you see on the weather map right here represent cities that had record highs yesterday. They did include places like Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Some are like 85 degrees there. Washington, Dallas, 84. Central Park in New York City, 83. Atlantic City, New Jersey, 81. And take a look at Cleveland. 80 degrees yesterday on March the 27th. And Milton, Mass, 77 degrees. The current numbers, once again, we will show you it's cooling off in the west, but still incredibly warm weather prevails all the way from Texas into the Ohio Valley. There's your 61 up in Boston, and 65 degree reading around New York City. Philadelphia right now is at 63. Washington, D.C., 59. We'll take it back towards the Midwest. It's a little bit cooler here. Again, looking at some rainfall around Chicago at 54 degrees, but St. Louis, you're in that tropical area again at 65 degrees, as the worst of the weather right now is traveling to your northeast. The deep south this morning, a wonderful start to your day. Brownsville, 69, 67 in San Antonio, and look at what's happening over central and south Florida, all the way from Disney World country, heading there today. It should be a fabulous day. 73 degrees in Miami, 60 degrees in Birmingham this morning, but the west is beginning to cool down. Denver 36 degrees. We expect no major problems in Denver today. There will be some major problems around Salt Lake City, Utah at 35, where it continues to snow, and more snow is likely for the Wasatch Front of Utah. With more details on that in the entire nation, let's go to Rick.
Thanks, Will. The bottom line today is winter-like in the west. California, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. Kind of mild, nation's midsection and the Great Lakes, and warm from southern New England down through the mid-Atlantic and the southern states. Record warmth, as a matter of fact, likely once again. What we've got is a Bermuda high situation with high pressure off the east coast and a vast southwesterly airflow right through here. We wouldn't be surprised to see Boston at 80, New York City the same, slightly cooler, in fact much cooler, right along the beaches as water temperatures are very chilly this time of the year, and that affects the air temperature. So Fire Island, south coast of Connecticut, or I should say Long Island, south coast of Connecticut, out on the Cape it'll be in the 60s, but you head west of Boston and again 80-degree warmth is likely. Downtown Boston we are projecting 80, 81 in New York, 83 in Philadelphia, still mild in Pittsburgh and Buffalo, 70s today, chance of an afternoon thunderstorm. Oh, look at the weather in the south. If you have outdoor activities, could not be too much better. 70s and low 80s. Time to get out and do a little bit of yard work, no doubt about that. Showers this morning in Chicago and Detroit. Storms in Indianapolis. You'll be about 75 and 73 in the sunshine in Kansas City, about 60 in the Twin Cities today.
And already this morning, some rough weather in parts of Illinois and Indiana.
We'll be back with all the details. That's on TravelWise after this.
This program was sponsored by Campbell's. How much butter does it take for mouth-watering mashed potatoes? None. Use Swanson broth instead. Rich, golden Swanson chicken broth adds loads of flavor, and it's 99% fat-free. Put in Swanson broth instead of